Hi everyone, this is Pierrick from P2 Design. So we will start a new live stream where I'll be animating a monster. Let me know in the comments on YouTube if the sound is okay and if everything is okay. And let's get started. Hi Eskimo, always on time. So this is a bit of a special character here that was also made by Emmanuel Wolf. She did all the character and she's doing all the character for the game. If you have seen the weight splash screen or stuff like this, you may wonder that an element is missing. And you're right, there is someone on top of the character here, and we'll have to animate it too. So I don't know if I will have the time to do it. Here the idea is to focus on this creature, because as the other character is mounted on top of it, she will mainly be constrained by it, and she will move following the creature movements. So it will be mainly a follow-through animation for her, and this is a very handy way to animate this kind of stuff when you are making someone on a horse or whatever, and you will focus on the horse movement. Unless the character on top of it is making something that will make the horse react, which is not the case here, you will focus on the horse or on the mount. So I will hide her for the time being. As usual, I have my king set here organized, so you can see there is a lot of bones because of both characters. And I will collapse those by pressing A and launch the screencast keys here. As usual, I have a little script to display the bones I want. So we'll be focusing on this character for the time being. And here I have created an action, a specific action for this scream animation. Give it a relevant name, create a fake user so that I'm sure I won't lose it, and I will uncheck this ghost option that show every keyframe even if the bones are not displayed here, so that I just have my my creature bones here. So as usual, I will start with the blocking animation. So the idea here is that we want to create a scream animation, and this scream in-game is supposed to launch a shockwave that will make your opponents weaker for a short period of time. This is a counter animation. So I will have to make it pretty quick, but as I discussed yesterday with the customer, I wanted the creature to first raise as a bear or as a gorilla, and then slam the ground with his front legs and then scream, which is kind of cool for sure. So I haven't anything to say about it, so we'll do this. So the first thing we have to think about here is our blocking. So I have my base position here, which is used for idle animation, so I have to keep this keyframe, this pose, sorry, and this pose will also be our final pose, because once he has finished his action, he's supposed to return in an idle state. So I will jump 5 frame per 5 frame to set my blocking without caring about the timing. The first key I will insert is an anticipation. So our character will be raising backward. So we need to gather energy forward. So this is what I will do. I will just move the torso a bit forward and a bit down. I will rotate the hips in outward, I think. Like when you're making push-up, if you do them well, you should stay straight, but your pelvis should raise a bit. And then we can rotate those. So in this case, I have a neck and an head bone. So I'm just thinking of, if I will do this, I think I will rotate this like that and try to keep my head straight forward like this more. Yeah, I think it looks better. So I will move it slightly on the side, because as you can see, it's this leg here, he has more weight on it because it's closer to its center. So I will slightly offset this position. Yeah. I'm currently, so I Solveig, I Kirito, and I Jill Panda. So yeah, regarding cute sculpting stuff, I'm currently a bit into sculpting just for training, but mostly in realistic stuff, and I hope to be able to make new creature for fun ASAP, but I have to deal with a lot of stuff lately, so that's gonna be not for the time being, but as soon as possible for sure. So as he's leaning forward, his shoulder should be raising, because they should go up like this, something like that, and a bit backward too. So I can mirror this position because it's not super precise. So I will press Ctrl C, Ctrl Shift V, and if you have a good naming in your bones, it will automatically set a mirror pose. So doesn't look bad, doesn't look good neither, but let's say it's okay. Then sometimes I'm a bit struggling with the the blocking stage, and when I start splining the character, working on the movement, it's sometimes easier to figure out where the problem is, because here I'm not super convinced of this pose, but yeah. So I've set a keyframe on every bone by pressing I here with all the bones selected, and now we'll be doing the raising movement, the raising pose. So I will go to frame 10. So what I could do is jump to the extreme pose, the pose where he has his legs up, and then break down the movement, for example. So I can do this if you want. Hey Engons, what's up? You don't have school today? So I will jump to 10 frame over, let's say, okay? And I will set directly the eye pose. So for sure the pelvis will be pointing down as he raises, and this will rise too. So if I think of something really like super angry, let's say, I think that the spline should be like that, and the chest will go way backward, like to have a nice curvature of this part. And here, even without the legs raised, we can feel like there is a problem of balance here. So I need to push this back a bit, I think. Maybe I will have to move one of the legs so that it's So this is the kind of thing I try to be, how to say, don't like to input too much animations, because then you have to pull back the leg and it's more and more animation. And when you're working with a short time schedule, let's say, whether it's for the live stream, whether it's budget wise, you should be aware that any additional movement will be additional time to work on. But yeah, I will do it. I think it will be better, and I will need to rotate this a bit like that to avoid this. So the deformation here is not super good. I will be able to fix this with better weight painting. Sometimes you need to animate to figure out where the weight paint problem are. Would be nice to see video of the high poly to low poly process and then the rigging even in the video. Yeah. Okay, should be back. Okay, I'm sorry, I've had a little connection loss. Seems to be back online. YouTube is saying everything's fine. Please let me know in the comment if I'm back here. So regarding the full process, well, I've released the Dragon Knight course like a few months ago, where I've been into this process of high to mid poly, let's say. But even if it could be a game character for sure. And now I'm still working on the rigging, so yeah, like that. I think okay, thank you. Yeah, I don't know. I had a splash on the screen saying, okay, OBS, which is the streaming software, just crashed. Woo! That was not really cool. So I will just bring those legs up a bit. So yeah, he's like that. And we need the head to point forward like this, I think. Now I need to find a position for those legs. Maybe something like this. Oh, he looks so cute. Like it's supposed to be something aggressive, and we just feel like he wants to give a big hug. Oh, that's crazy. Okay. So now that we have this position, I need to figure where the weight should be. So as he's okay, I will switch here to constant. I don't want those ugly interpolation to occur. But as we start pushing the weight on the right and moving the left leg backward, as soon as he will put his leg on the ground, his body will sure follow. So I need to set it a bit, to offset a bit the torso to this leg, and so the hips will also rotate toward it like that. And now I need to fix the orientation of the hips with the Y axis and do something like that. Okay, looks more natural, maybe a bit high. So I don't want this IK chain to pop. So since this is not rigged with all the features I've done lately, I will need to avoid any too extreme poses. You know, I can't extend the arm, for example. So now let's see. Okay, rotation on Z. I will offset one of the leg, pretty arbitrary. Regarding mouth movement, I will set them later. I mean, I always do like the main pose and the blocking, not considering the feathers or the tails or stuff that doesn't input the main movement, because it's just like it's easier to animate than even with by animating directly with the curves. Yeah, the model is cool for sure. Yeah, she did a great work. That's really a great opportunity for me to work with those guys, because even if we have a limited budget, Jeremy, which is the CEO, was able to recruit very talented artist, and his concept artist, for example, is very good. He's a young guy, but he's doing a great job. Okay, I will keep this simple. Regarding the orientation, I should have a bit of lean in this direction, because the you should have an opposite rotation compared to the hip. The bad thing here is that I have a neck follow animation, and I know that I haven't set a proper isolation constraint here, so I will have to counter animate the head. So yeah, that's a bummer. So I have this extreme pose, and now I can figure how we get to this pose. So the idea is not to make him like doing a movement like this, because if you think of it, that means that he will have to push like crazy strong on his front legs to push himself and to make a jump, let's say, of his chest. While if we move it this way, he will gather energy upon his back legs, and then use his spine root to raise, which is more convenient, let's say. So I will move it backward and upward like this. He will start to gather energy into his hip and start to raise the torso here. But I want those to counter, in a way, the movement, so that he get from there, push and raise. You can see it's if you see the curvature of the back, if you can focus on this, it looks pretty obvious, let's say, pretty natural. So what I will have to do on splining is make sure I get a nice curve like this for the torso, but for the time being I can't, let's say, care about this. Not that I don't, but I can't. Okay, so front, maybe I will have to look at this movement here, maybe like making more, doing a movement like that, meaning that there will be another intermediate key. So I will slightly make this one a little more extreme. Now I need to think that this leg will be raised also, and as he push, I will push the shoulder toward the ground, and so that I can gather more energy, even more, and rotate this like that. So I'm just going a little further so that I can set another intermediate pose. Yeah, you see here the movement is way more obvious when you look at it. Even if you just have the blocking, you can feel it. So I will just add another pose in between those two, where he start to get backward, and you will raise this part. It's like he is finishing to gather energy here. You see, he go backward. You see here this curve, and then like I don't know how we say this, a spring, like a spring, it will down go back, so that we can make this anticipation pause pretty slow until then, and then accelerate the animation, then make him stay like a bit in this position and then fall down very quickly. So in our timing, that will be very interesting. I feel if you have followed, don't know, me on Twitter lately, I've posted most of the animation of the little monkeys, and since I've been working on this particular animation, I feel way more confident with my timing, and the fact that you have to bring contrast in the timing, like staying movement, like you stay in the air and fall really fast. That gives way more dynamism, and it's much fun to see. And as we are doing like fantasy animation here, I don't care if it's perfectly realistic. So now we will, I think he could go a little more back, like he is nearly falling backward as he gathered energy, and then he will move back forward. And so I need him to like be ready to smash. Oh, he's so cute. You want to be my friend? Sorry, I feel lonely. Okay, let's rotate a bit the hips here. And let's get the torso. I will cancel the rotation so that I have a clean one and start falling forward. So I want to move the head like this, like in a follow-through animation. Yeah, that's gonna be a good smash, I think. So the idea here is to bring the body, the front legs, into position, meaning that I want them to be ideally at the same state than the first pose, so that I don't have to move them again, so that you get back to his original pose. So I will duplicate the very first pose here and set the landing, let's say. So it will looks pretty like this one, I think, but so the spine will be down, this will be down also, and the head will be like that. The shoulder should be raised a bit, and I think I haven't checked the shoulder here. Just in putting a slight movement when I will polish, that's gonna be easier for me to figure out what to be doing. Is this one of the creature from the game? Yeah, absolutely. This is one of the boss. For the time being, sorry, there are two factions, let's say, and some mobs. I'm really bad at this kind of game. I don't know the terminology and stuff, but this one is the queen of one of the factions. So this is the big boss. And I'm wondering if, yeah, I should move this a bit backward for a slam animation. So I'm afraid that the curve won't look super nice because he has short limbs, so for a quadruped animation this is always a problem. When you have very long limbs, you have a lot of liberty regarding foot position. So he's like that, and now I want to, maybe I should raise this a bit and lean more like that. Yeah. I don't know what are the plan, but I know that the game will be displayed on next week into a small game conference. Small, I don't know, but a game conference. So it will be the first time it's going to be public, let's say. But yeah, we are still in very early development. But yeah, you can start to play the game, but most of the rules are not inputted, so that's yeah, not as fun as it will be once finished. So I will make the animation a bit longer. Okay. So he will smash the ground, move forward like that. So now he's preparing the scream, and I want this movement. I don't know if we can see it on the camera. I will check it. Yeah, we can see it. So movement where his head, let's say, will go to the ground and then raise, and he will scream like that. This is the mouth. Yeah, I know. If you haven't figured it out. So I want him to go a little down like that. Bind here. And then start to erase like that. No, I should bend it this way, sorry. That's a reversed animation in a way. Because as he will raise, this part will... I don't know. I don't know. I need to figure out. So I got this, I go forward. Yeah, I want this to bend more even. To bend even more, sorry. I'm struggling here. Okay, let's try that. Pushing forward, and I will set the extreme pose. So this will be, so I just need to focus on back legs, you see, that they don't leave the ground, something like that. I can rotate them. Unfortunately, there is no proper deformation for the finger here. No, that will look weird. So I will keep it on the ground, raise those, raise this one. I need to put the shoulders toward the ground, so I do it roughly for the time being, just to be free with the front legs. Something like that. And I will also rotate it on the y-axis and on the z. Let's think about it. So I want him to be like that, so yeah. We'll rotate this a bit I say, and this like that. Now to have a better feeling, I will open the jaw. So I'm using 2 bones for the jaw, which is not correct, let's say, but You can make a slight follow through animation upon the jaw, and it will look pretty nice. And I will use a noise modifier when you scream to have some vibration to the jaw. So something like this. I need to break the curve, so I need to rotate this like that, or in this way. Yeah, in this way. Okay. So if he rotate this way when screaming, then I should revise. So I need to push more forward the ground here, toward the ground, sorry. I will set a keyframe for everybody. So when you start to rise, let's say, rotate this way. So I should rotate him a bit on this side. And rotate the spine, the torso in the opposite direction. So something like that. And start to raise a bit the head. Okay. Yeah, we have a good feeling here. It was a bit fast, but here I like the woof. You can see he's moving the torso forward first and then raising it. So I can duplicate this pose, and if we see the movement here of the chest, he's moving to the left and then to the right. And clap your hands. Yeah, no, I'm kidding. Oh, by the way, let me know if you find me super fun or just super annoying. Wanted to go into a one-man show and stop CG forever. I think I got something. Why nobody's responding now? So I haven't checked the front view here, which is bad. I think it's funny. Thank you. Yeah, no, that's wrong. Should not go back this way, but go more in this way. No, that's not good, because he will raise like that. Got to yeah, that's it. Yeah, so let's get rid of this and see how it looks. I think it's nice. Don't know, should raise a bit more, even if that's subtle, because we won't be doing this much. always input a bit of movement everywhere, but we can do this easily with the curve. But I've seen some nice demo yesterday of young students outputting animation. He had a good timing, but one of the main problems in his animation was that he wasn't. Sometimes the IK hand was in the air and doesn't move at all, and he was moving like this because he has set 2 keyframes without a slow easing on the curve, and that's a problem. When you animate things, unless it's on the ground, it has to be moving always, even if it's very, very subtle, or it will look super robotic. So we scream rock and roll, and then he will get back to his rest pose, and the movement toward the back is not like super crazy. Oh yeah, oh that's a bit, let's say a bit disappointing, because I wanted to get this curve movement backward also. So we'll input it for sure, but it won't be as great as it could have been. So there you can see here this leg just raised, sorry. So let's input a bit of rotation to the hips so that it stays to the ground, and I need to set this back in place. A winner and stamps, and then the push is a tiny football, just a little bit with this thing. Oh yeah, that's sometimes we think about what we could do, like stupid stuff. I don't remember how we had like crazy time with one of the character. We wanted to do something for the April Fool, like a special idol or something. I don't remember. If it get back to my mind, I let you know. Okay, so do I have? Yeah, I have a real-time feedback. Yeah. So now I will just set additional keyframe to start timing the animation. Sí, pero non hablo español. I can speak a bit of Italian decently, let's say, but Spanish, I've forgotten everything from college, so that's and college is not college like in the US. Also, it's when you are between 10 and 14, something like this. So I need to increase a bit the number of frames. I still have room, but so I want him to stay like slow here. So I will offset those and add like a few frames, like 3, let's say. Then the movement should be like pretty slow toward this position, and then here pretty fast, because he will put a lot of energy in a short amount of time. So let's try 4 keyframes. Also, he's pretty big, so I don't want him to have like a too fast movement. You want to feel like it's a big one. And so here it should stay a little longer. smash pretty fast. Yeah, but you speak English and Gun, so that's fine. At least for CG. I'm not sure about the timing here. It's way too fast. Everything is way too fast. I think when I will go to spline, it will be more obvious. So when he will smash the ground, I also want him to stay for longer on the ground. And then this should be pretty fast here. Like frack, yeah, looks cool. And the secondary pose should stay for a while. This I don't like in the beginning there. Also, I will make him maybe stay a bit longer in here. Like, let's say 1 frame, okay? That should be fine. So now I'm just missing one frame here when he switch his leg position, which is pretty important. So I don't know if I will set it during the splining, which can be done, that's not a problem, because you need to think that there will be like, he will raise a little more than that and be on this leg. He will transfer his weight to this leg while this one is in the air, and then put the foot back in position. So what I can do, and for me this should occur when he's in already like raised a bit. So I will start from this pose here, and I will just move those on the side and duplicate it. And I will set the passing pose, let's say. So for this one, if I press Shift E, you can see that I'm using, how they call this, I don't remember, but breakdown option, which allow me to insert the keyframe, which is an average value between the next and the previous one. So I will set it to 50% here, and I will raise the foot a bit, and I will raise the torso more and put it on this side, so that when he comes here, you see, I will set movement this way, and he go down onto this foot. Yeah, it's a game creature. It's very low poly. I mean, it's pretty low poly. That's a bit too much on this side here. Yeah. So I will need to move the feet too, but the hands, let's say, for this character, because here you can see that they don't move because we are in constant interpolation. But I just wanted to input the torso movement, the foot movement here. So I need to rotate the hips toward the foot that is currently supporting the weight. And here I will have to offset the hips because it will put the foot on the ground and then rotate the hips toward. But this will be achieved in a second step. Yeah, that's way too much. But it's also a way to input weight to your character. I think the timing is not good. It's too fast. I should have like something really slow regarding this movement when he raised the foot. Like he's raising, he put his foot backward, but he's so heavy that he has to take time to do so. So having like so little frames to do it is not good. Like he mostly gather more energy to raise himself onto one leg, which is understandable. And I have offset the wrong keys. Okay, I don't have an intermediate key before he is raising his feet. I should have one here. Because I want him to be like close to being raised. So Shift E again. This will look really bad, but don't worry, we'll fix this later. So I just need to figure out which foot will leave first, and this should be this one because it's the further from the next action. So I can push this one here. The shoulder should still be a bit like pushing toward the ground at this stage. And the spine should be already like near to its final pose, while the chest and the head will be following, so they will be rotated like this. And the chest here is weight, the chest, this bone is a bit too on the back because he's already losing balance here before he even start to move his feet backward, which I don't want. Yeah, that's better. And then when he falls down, the foot is moving back into place, which is not good, I think. Maybe I will just try if he can keep the foot here back. Yeah, that looks way better even. So I will keep this until he finish to scream. So the problem is when he will scream currently, when he push forward to scream, I think here I will have an issue with this foot position. You can see that now it's straight. So does it make sense if while he scream, this is the moment where he bring his foot forward? I'm not sure. I think that's gonna be weird. I think that should occur just after the smash here. So that what I will do, yeah, I will insert an intermediate pose here where he gather energy backward once he has slammed. And I will do it by curving him this way. And so I will be able to then input the movement I was talking about before, where he will he bend backward and do this to scream. Okay, so at this stage, so he's gathering energy, and I think he could switch his foot position at this time between those two frames. So let's move them, getting back, raising a bit, and starting to move like that. Slightly setting his weight here. Then I have a lot of good friends sending me emails like, hey, how are you? What about this project? And the pose is like here. So here I need to lift the foot. Blender crashed. No, it didn't. His hand should slide a bit into position. What do you mean? Like he smashed the ground and pulled them backward? Like he made them sliding on the ground? I'm not sure I got it. Eskimo. Yeah, just saved. But my Blender didn't crash. Maybe you're talking between you, I guess. So there is a strange thing. Yeah, here the timing is not good now because he slam and get back very fast. Okay, so you want him to slam like which will be cool. Yeah, let's do this. So let's follow Mr. Eskimo proposal. Let's make him slam like further, and when he will pull his body back, but to do so we will have to raise it even more. When he will pull his body back, he will make the front leg sliding on the ground, like he's recovering. Oh, I should go further. Yeah, but that's weird because I have a different sliding position and I will have to I'm bothered with this left. Oh no, okay, it's just that there is another key for this one. So far going back, so this will occur at these states when you raise. So those two things, I don't remember the name of the creature, but it has a name for sure. Okay. Yeah, okay, something like that. So let's see. Yeah, that's way too fast, but we have the idea. So now we need to to go way backward. When you will pull his legs, yeah, but I can't. That's, oh. You should think about your shoulders. Yes. So, slam, shoulder up, shoulder forward. Sliding back, shoulder forward. So this one has arrived, this one will arrive, and he has to be way more backwards. This one is gonna be tough for sure. Yeah, that looks good. GG Eskimo. Because he pull really back so that his weight is on the back legs, we have said before. And then you will raise it while he's moving forward and start screaming. So that makes sense in the movement. Yeah, I like it. Don't know if I have the name of the monster. It's called Mount. So I don't know if it has this one has a name. The woman riding it is called Silicia, and you can see she's really happy about life. Yay! So when you ride this kind of stuff, you have to have like a very strong thigh for sure to hold on this, and a good sense of balance. And if you have any trouble when you're on a boat, you should not ride those kind of creature. Okay, let's hide this. Let's save, and let's switch to Montgomery. Yeah. And let's switch to Bezier, and I will set it to auto clamped so that everything is auto smoothed. Man, that looks decent for sure. So what I want is those back animation here to be a bit longer, like 1 or 2 frames. Whenever he supports his own weight, let's say. As he's very heavy, he should have some difficulties to move himself. So here I think it's like I want him to just here when he put his foot on the ground, maybe. That's quite slow already. Yeah, you see here we have this little hip movement, check, which is pretty strong, but it does bring this sense of weight on this side. And then the torso here is moving too fast, so it looks weird, but that's fine. You see, I have this stop in the motion here, which is interesting. When he put his foot on the ground and then slam. Okay, so what I will do now is that I will start polishing the main torso controller. So this from this bone here, I will be able to set the whole rhythm of the character. Maybe a little when he stands 2. Maybe a little slide when he stands 2. When the hands are up, they look for a few frames a little bit. Yeah, they are static when the hands are up. But for the time being, I don't care, because I will... This is what I told you before. Maybe you weren't already here, but everything should be constantly moving. So you can't have the end like standing in the air. But the fact is that it doesn't help me during the blocking stage to pose correctly the ends. And as it's an IK movement, if it was FK, I will create those breaking poses for sure. But with IK, I don't like to animate with IK, but for this kind of thing, this is very handy, because then you can just move with the curve and have the visual feedback, because you're just setting the position of the end. So the idea is to move backward, move forward, create this dot shape or a shape with the curves. I don't need to block it before, okay? Yeah, that's I mean, you are totally true, and don't worry, but this is something I will do after, because with spline that's easy. You see, I mean, here in this state I can just work on the curves, and this will be mainly interpolating them. I won't have to think that much, which is great, because I'm done. So I'm not rotating this bone. I try to avoid rotation of my torso controller as much as possible, so I can hide those keys and I can start working on this. So it's, I don't know why I turned it toward the up like this, so my y-axis will be my z-axis here, and z will be I think the back and forth. Yeah. So first thing is gathering energy. So regarding the timing here, I'm not like unhappy about it. It's a bit fast, but that's fine. Okay. The only thing I want is that the movement is I go down and move forward, not like something where he goes forward and then down. And when I see the curves here, everything occurred in the same timing. So what I can do is slow down the movement forward, and now you can see that I get this movement. Okay, and then add here a U shape to this curve so that it gets even lower. And I want quite of the opposite movement the other way, so I will also slow down the forward movement here, like that, let's say. Yeah, looks nice. Is that a sound effect attempt? Agreed. When the... which one? Did I make a weird sound with my mouth? Or with my other thing? I don't think so, but it may happen. I'm only human. So the raising motion here, I think is quite good, because it has to be quite straight, since it will swing the spine like that. So I don't need a movement like that. I would prefer a movement like this. So this is what I will do, meaning that our Z curve will be slightly offset. And meaning you see that the position toward the back, I've slowed down it so that he raises, and once is at his upper level or near it, he still go backward, and then the weight push. Okay, so here I need to raise him more for sure, something like that. And as he start to move these feet backward, he should stay a bit in the in place. So I will slightly push this one upward, like he's not moving backward that much, and as soon as the foot is near to touch the ground, he move like backward, like super fast. And then here I absolutely need absorption. So I need absorption backward, meaning that he touch the ground and push his body and way more toward the ground, because he's very heavy. Sorry, I'm trying to improve my English. Okay. So yeah, also here I'm just working the timing from side view. I just care about up and down and back and forth motion, and then I will go in front of you and work on left and right motion. The cool thing is that the cool thing about game animation is that you can set your character into a certain orthographic position, let's say, while if you're on a set, you may have your character slightly rotated toward another one. So if he has to make a movement in a room also, this is quite hard to animate. You need to make a lot of blocking and stuff like this. But if those are just two characters talking one to each other, you will try to align their root bone one toward the other so that the movement will be easier to read on the curves. Okay, so now it's falling down. That's too fast. I want it to stay more. Just think about a bear. Like, okay, so here I will offset all the keys. And I will offset this one too and put it more like that, and I will also move in more toward the ground, like it's very heavy. And when you will move start to move forward, so it's like he's going way down, getting up a bit here, but I want him to start moving forward while he's still absorbing his weight. So I need to offset a bit these movements like that. Oh, I should be going down, so that's more down, lower, let's say, lower, raise, and it should go lower again a bit, like, yeah, and then push. You see it's subtle, but that looks good. And push, yeah, I like it. So the forward motion is too fast also. So I will rotate this one. So let's see how it looks. Oosh, yeah, I like that. You see, we have more this sense of weight on when he put his leg backward. Okay. Then he will rise. So he has already, okay, it's the movement where he will slam currently, so yeah, don't know, should be like in the air a little longer. And now here we need a faster movement, very fast movement. Bah. And also he's moving forward too early here. You see, it's weird because when it goes down, there is no more forward motion. So I will offset this. Yeah, that looks better. This could be a bit further though. Yeah, looks better. Okay. And so here we need, I think we need it to stay in place for a longer period of time. So let's select this in the timeline and let's offset again those. Yeah, that's better. Even the sliding motion here looks, even without any polishing, looks more interesting. So the idea here is that he goes way down. I can get rid of this key, and he will slide backward, like he will pull his hand back. So currently the hand here are moving too early, and that's a bit disturbing. So I will just offset those keys a bit, just to help me figure out the movement. Yeah, splining, a little splining. It's not like a little splining, it's not like it's adding something, it's like you must spline your curves. So the idea is that you will try to really to rush backward. So I feel like this could be further. I haven't seen the animation yet here, but I feel like that's too slow. Yeah, that's better. Like I'm pulling my big hands backward, and then I can start thinking of how I will enjoy life then. So I will just add another key here to have a slowing motion, and then you go back, you go forward. I can get rid of this key. So let's see, on the Z movement looks fine to me. I feel like he's raising a bit. Don't know. Hi Jim, not too late. I was starting to think about sending some people to wake you, like the violent way. Okay, so let's see. He raise. This will be uploaded after the end, right? Yeah, sure. The whole stream will be available like few hours after the end of the streaming. So I plan to end at 12, which I think I'll never reach. That's crazy how animation takes time. But yeah, after all, after you can see it, you can see the whole thing. So backwards. Oh, this is where he is raising his foot. So it should move backward a little faster, I think. Yeah, like that. And then rise quite rapidly and move forward. No, move forward rapidly and upward a little slower. Oh, sorry about this, Jim. Where they are your own cats or where they are like neighbors' cats? Because if it's your own, well, you can't complain with all the love the cats are bringing to you as soon as you feed them. But if those are the neighbors, yeah, that's a bummer. So here I feel like he should, like he is pushing forward to scream, but once he has reached this extreme pose, he should get a bit backward because he's extending a lot, and then you have this spring effect. So I will lower this a bit so that he initiates the movement backward while he's still screaming. Okay. And then I just need, very simple, I will copy the very first, which is the same as the last pose, set it like to 10 frames later also. Let's keep it like 125. Okay, 130, let's say 130, end of the animation 130. And the idea here is just, you see that this pose stop just like that. And what I do generally, which is very easy, I just interpolate the curve. So the Z curve is going down, I put it down. This one, I put it down and down. And so I will have this back in place motion here. And now I can offset them so that I have a more interesting movement. For example, I'd like the 8th to occur before the backward movement. Yeah, so that it makes a little movement like that. If you see, that's subtle, but that's cool. Okay. So the anticipation movement is pretty long. Yeah. The thing is that I know that in game that's gonna be a problem, but we'll see. I think there will be a version of the animation that will start from here, because it's a counter animation, so meaning that it occurs when the opponent is playing, and while he's playing you can launch defensive animations. But if you want something that goes fast, look, we have like nearly 90 frames of anticipation for a 50 frame animation then. So it's like 3 seconds. That's huge. We'll see what the boss says. So let's now work on the left and right position under my window in my garden. It's spring too. Oh. Think that this is gonna be super hot in Jim's Moran garden for sure. Maybe that will be inspiring. So here you can see I have this flat curve here for the X movement. So we want to avoid this. So I will just get rid of this and try to follow the Z position more or less. So the extreme should occur after I start to raise. Something like that. What I don't understand is, okay, so I need to check the movement here also. It's just when he's gathering energy. Okay. Maybe I could push this one down a bit so that he prepared to gather that little something, but as he will raise this leg, sorry, he will first push on it, so we need to set the weight on it. So I will move this one here. Yeah, that's doesn't look good. Maybe if I just testing here. Yeah, that looks better. You see, go left and then to the right and start pushing. And as soon as he's high enough, he's offsetting his body to the other side, I can get rid of this curve. And so he should be like nearly at his further point here before he starts to go down. And I will have to work on the pelvis for sure. And as soon as he put the ground, his foot on the ground, he should. This animation here is really bad. Here, this motion is useless, so I can get rid of it. And add another key and add some absorption to the movement. So we form on this feet, go down, and then start to, should be a little faster, go the other way before he slam. So when you will slam, I will make him slightly absorb its movements to this side. And once he has touched the ground, he can go back into place. So now why? Okay, he's leaning to its left foot to be able to raise this one. So it makes sense. I can push this one here. I'm going to the right, push on my leg, to the left. So, hold on. No, here okay, I should do this like that. Okay. Let's see how it looks. Yeah. Okay, so I go onto my right leg, start to push on it like way faster, and once I'm in the air, like this position, this is a small movement, I will be on an extreme and then fall down. And this is where we have a weird movement here because it is going like the other way, super fast. So let's get rid of this. And now I should have like this, but this movement afterward is really bad. So this should occur before and be less pronounced. So you can, I don't know, because I'm talking while doing this, but you may not see what I'm talking about. Here I want a motion like this, a C shape, while it was like getting forward and then going left super fast, and that looks really, really bad. What can I use? Green movement, okay. While now I have more the C shape, and it's following the torso more or less. Yeah, that's fast. That's fast. Too extreme. Yeah, it looks better. Okay. Okay, so you can see I just start polishing this main torso controller, and it already looks way better than what we had with just the blocking. Or maybe you think like it looks like crap and you're not saying it in the comment because you're too kind or you got disconnected. No, I didn't model this character. It was made by Emmanuel Rolf. I can show you the topology. It's well, it's good. It's not perfect. There are some place where it could have been more simple, like those loops are way too much. And one of the problem here is that there is those hairs, but that's always the case, are a bit complicated to deal with when you are weight painting, because you don't have proper topology around the shoulder. And I think Jim can explain us how easy it is to rig shoulders. I think this will be the theme of his first live stream or first YouTube video, when he will start using his super microphone. This is not a call. Yeah, this is a call. So yeah, let's move on. So what I will do now is that I will polish the feet here, because they are leading a lot the animation, since we are using a lot of the movement starts from the feet here. And so I will just have to offset. You see that the curves are very simple. Offset a bit the contact, make my good curves, and then I will start to work on the hips here. Then I will polish the torso so that I have good chain movements. Yeah, I'm promoting his channel. Look at him in the chat. He don't want to. I'm just bringing him super ideas of streaming, and he just says no. What's the problem? I mean, you've shown us on Twitter that you were the master of shoulders, and now you don't want to show people how good you are with such an interesting theme. Maybe you want to go for the pelvis first, just to warm up, and then start working on the shoulders. So so what I will do now is very important, is that I will pee and then I will get back and start polishing those feet, then the hip, and then we can work on the wall chain. So I will just set it to the weight camera. Okay, back online. So, if you haven't spotted it yet, but look at my face now. I don't need to pee anymore. That's fine. Let's get back to work. So, this foot is not moving at all, so polishing is done. Let's work on this one. So, I will switch to the other side and reopen the chat. Stream crashed. No, stream didn't crash. I don't think so. No, I just go to pee. Just needed to pee, don't worry. I'm back in. Just let me know in the... Okay, thank you. Was afraid there was a problem. So the foot here is leaving the ground too soon. It should leave the ground like here. So I will offset those. And when it will hit the ground, we should have vector curve, meaning that your foot won't slow before it touches the ground. And even when it's leaving the ground, it's not leaving like slow and getting accelerating and slowing and etc. So regarding the backward movement here, I want it to occur a little faster. I can get rid of this one. And yeah, I will offset the movement again. I want it to happen sooner, so let's see. No, it's too late. I want it to be way faster, like you put your foot on the ground and then your weight is going on it. You see, that's better. Maybe I will, I don't know, I will do this sooner, even sooner. One frame only, but yeah, that looks better. Okay. And maybe his raising is, no, his feet is okay. Alright. So then it's stuck to the ground. Then this is the time where he will move forward. So currently it's just sliding on the ground because I haven't added an up and down movement. That's weird though, that the up and down is I mean the default position is weird. When you rig every day, you make constant progress in rigging, and when you get back to a character you did like a few months ago, it may looks like strange, let's say. So now I feel like the movement here is okay. Let's set those to vector 2, and I need to input an up and down motion. Sorry, the vector get up like that, and that's it. So there is also a slight rotation of the foot, so I will have to deal with this. We'll just check now how it looks. So that's weird. Here something bad happens. Wow, this got offset and cancelled. Well, okay, doesn't matter. Maybe he's lifting a bit too much. Yeah, looks cool. Okay, let's go down so that I can see the rotation of the foot. So because here you can see it start to rotate while it's not leaving the ground. So what I can do is just hide the location curves, offset my rotation curves get rid of those. That's a very subtle movement. So now what I need to think about is that when you do so, will you first bring your heel on the point of the foot? Honestly, I don't feel like I really need to polish this that much, because this is such a little thing. Nobody will really notice it, and I don't want to waste time on this one. We just work a bit on the heel rotation, but only backward, because forward it looks like, I don't know, doesn't look super nice. So in this case I can see that I have set a Euler rotation. That's another mistake, but yeah, I was young, let's say, because I'm rotating this bone only on one axis. So why would I set this to Euler? So here I'd like him to rotate to get a bit on his heel, like he is losing a bit balance before he brings the foot backwards. Something like this. And when you will touch the ground, I want to keep this, so I will duplicate this. We can flatten the foot a bit while in the air. So you may not do this kind of movement, because when you bring your foot back, you should move it this way. But the idea here is that he is a bit losing balance because he's so big when he moves backwards, so you will be slightly on your heels. And also because the rig is too bad, and I don't have this motion of the toes. Yeah, that's a bit too extreme here. This should occur faster, like one frame, just the slap. When does he touch the ground? Here. Okay, so I'm one frame late. Yeah, now it looks better. Okay. Okay, so now I can focus on the hips. The hip or hips, never know. So when you push forward like this, I've made no specific rotation toward one side or the other, which is fine, but that's not like it should be. Well, if you turn to the left, then your pelvis, like, no, it should be rotating the other way, like that. Okay, so I will smooth this movement, and then when you move backwards, I will add a slight contour movement, something slight like this. Let's go to the side view and see what's happening. So he's getting down, and you see he's raising his pelvis afterward, which doesn't make sense. So I can get rid of those curves, and I want it to happen before, because you gather energy, you reach your position, and then you will flap your hips to be able to pull the spine here. If you look now, I have an offset with the spine, which looks good. See this movement of I won't give you an example of this kind of movement, okay, but I think you have the idea. So that's I'm saying that the it's pulling the spine, which is not really good, because you should achieve this movement with your abdominals, I think. So the spine should be pulling the hips, but motion wise what we see is this effect, like it's pulling the spine, sorry. Sometimes it's hard for me. So okay, now that looks good. I like the fact that it's pretty smooth here, because he's slowly losing balance backward, so I can get rid of this frame. And as soon as he will put his feet on the ground, so I think it should be even more toward the front here. So I will, meaning that just think of you like absorbing your weight backward, your hips will move forward, your groin. I don't know if we say it like that, but to have the sense of weight. So I will offset this one. Yeah. It's a bit like the side movement we have here, but that could be a little more. And then it should be slower. And when he smashed the ground, I feel like it could be rotated the other way. And then reabsorbed forward. Yeah, looks nice. So let's see. Yeah, we have this little shake of the ass, which looks good, of the hip, sorry. And then when he will pull backward, it should be this is a mistake in the pose, but the hips should be bending forward before he's able to raise his feet like that, because the hips will pull the foot. So something like this, and then I raise the hip to be able to lift the foot. Looks a bit weird, but yeah, let's say this is gonna be fine. Here should be pushing first forward to gather more energy in the side, and push, yeah, straight, like super fast like this, like he's kicking with his hips, and then the tension is going down. So, and as he goes back here, he should again absorb the motion like that, and then unseen pose, raise his hip like that. Yeah, cool. Looks cool from the side view, I think. Don't know what you think about it, and I don't care. No, nobody's saying nothing. So, 1, you agree. 2, you disagree too much to say it. 3, you got to sleep. Or 4, which I think it's the truth, you're mesmerized by my work because I'm so good. Yeah, that must be this. I will stuck to this. So don't hesitate to buy every of my products now on Gumroads, and you can set like $1,000 price for freebies if you want. That will be fine for me if you do so. So here I didn't like this movement here, like the hips is rotating toward the foot, while before it even touched the ground, so that doesn't look right at all. But here it's a bit too much, so let's do this and offset this one. I want him to touch the ground and then raise the hip, and let's raise it a little further and then get back to pose. So we have this weight information. So here it's the y-axis. That's pretty sensitive here. That's one of the problem with I don't know if it's a problem, but one of the thing you have to take care of with quaternion rotation is that sometime moving one of the axes may change the way the other ones behave, so you have to be careful with this. Think like it's maybe a bit too much. I don't know. Maybe a bit too much. Yeah. I'm still struggling with the unwrapping of my damn ground since an hour. Oh. Hey, you see, Jim? It's very important if you want to start a YouTube and game road career to be like super catchy when you're doing self-promotion. That's why I'm following Donald Trump on Twitter. I think he's a super marketing super marketer for sure. So here maybe I should, since he's going forward, he will slightly put weight on the front leg, I think. So I will rotate this like that. Get rid of this one, slightly polish this, and now we can keep it like nearly straight. That's fine. And now we should be near the time where here, for example, I need to make it lean to the right leg. Because he will then raise onto the other one, so he will like pull his foot, so he push on the foot here. So the hip is aligned to the ground, and once he has pushed, he will pull. So he will currently push on the other leg. So it's in this way now. If it does make sense. I'm sure it does. And then we should have a bit of absorption as usual as soon as he touched the ground here. So touch the ground, absorption, and he's out to a standard pose when he's pushing on both legs. And then I think it's what's that? Okay, just the recovery, so I will just offset this as I did before. Just to, you know, the movement is going, the curve is currently going down to this point, let's say. And as I want to have not a full stop at this as the animation is going here, I just interpolate it. Okay, it's going down, I will just push this point a little more down so that I have a slight rotation motion before everything stops. Ho 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 ho. Anybody has a Zumba playlist like to set for this? Or a samba or something? Hey. Yeah, I'm sorry. I feel lonely. Okay, I think I don't like this here. Yeah, I don't know. Not super happy about life on this one. Maybe it's a bit too much. Yeah, looks better. Looks decent, let's say. Let's move on. Spine. Let's polish the spline of the spine. Check, yeah. So, let's see. First thing is the... It's moving forward to... Oh, okay, it's the anticipation motion, which looks super weird. Wow, that's... This movement here is not natural at all. But I think I know... Yeah, okay, I will fix this later. So, currently I should have this raised a little more while he's going down. Once he's down, it should go a bit like that. And then start to raise. So I felt that during the polishing the hips, this curve was looking good to me. Just need to make it like a little more backward here and get rid of this one. And eventually when he get down here, I could maybe try to set a little bump here, and then when you will raise again, get back again. Yeah, let's just bring a little movement and a little more sense of weight. Then I think he's leaning forward too early, so I will just raise this and rotate it. And now you can smash the ground, little boy. Okay, absorption. Could be a little more, but you see that the head is already clipping with the ground, which we don't necessarily... Ooh, that's a hard word for me. A problem for the game, but yeah, let's do things properly. Okay, so and then when he will pull back those legs, I want him to pull on the spine like with more energy, so I want the movement to occur faster. Yes. And I can raise this a bit. Control click to add a keyframe. Oh no, I didn't know. Thank you. New tip. So when you control click, you can add a keyframe. Now I'm always like Shift D, Shift D, Shift D. That's thank you. That was the... I think he uses... No, here I'm not using auto keyframing anymore. Because it will write a key for each channel, and I don't want this. So here I want him to curve, to lean forward sooner, because I want this movement, a movement like that. And then here raise like super fast, which is already the case. That's fine. and then when you go backward, it should lean a bit. His back should be like that, I think, and go down. Oh, this is the final state already. Let's see. Here, that doesn't move that much. And should occur maybe slightly later as he put the foot on. Yeah, now we have more this sense of motion. And I want this like to stay more and boom. Okay. What these games, the art style looks really cool. Thank you. This game is called Noara, and for the time being it's under development, and I don't know exactly when the alpha will be released, but it should be this year for sure. And I think the next big deadline is in August. There is like a game conference in Deutschland, in Germany, I think, and I believe that the boss want to be here for this. So let's see. We have this. So there won't be like that much rotation on the side for this one. It will be mostly on the chest, where I will try to follow the shoulder position. But here I think he should, yeah, should try to recover balance. Looks better. My grandfather got wow. 30 minutes to unwrap. I don't know. Just check out for video games conference in. I believe it's gonna be in Düsseldorf also, because most of the shows appear there. But I don't know. Just check. Just Google like games conference in Germany, and maybe you will find it. Maybe but that's a big maybe. I will be part of it, because he plans to bring the whole team to the show. That will be super nice, but I prefer to be like safe with this kind of announcement, because when you're working on long project like this, nothing happens in time or the way it should. So here I'm not sure I can read the movement properly. I will just polish it like visually on the curve, because I don't understand my movement. So here it's a little more obvious. There is some torsions or spinning effect, let's say. So but it's quite subtle, so I don't get it right away. And also as it's pretty subtle. The most important is currently the this x-axis rotation. So I will now work on the chest the same way. Looks already decent. I think the movement is looking decent. You will see that we'll get a real enhancement once we will start working on the hands or on the front feet. I will just open the window for a moment. Because it's I think I've forgotten to switch off some warming stuff here. So I really don't like this now that I see it. So I will go more for a movement like, yeah, this here is so like, what's the benefit of this? Like it's going. Why do I have this? I remember what I wanted to do, but currently it's not like, doesn't looks right at all. So something like that, and then the pull occur way too late. Yeah, that's better. I think maybe I've done something wrong during the blocking also. Still, it's a bit weird. Okay. Maybe I should go down a bit here. Yeah, because there is a little stop here. So okay. So now it's raising pretty smoothly, let's say. So it should slow down here, like in the end, like it's very heavy. So I will bring this down. Let's think about it now. Bring this up so that it occur a little before, like he's raising fast, and it slows down because it's very heavy. That's subtle, but yeah, that's a bit too fast. Yeah. Okay, now I can move this a little up. And we had this movement of the spine just before for the sense of weight, so maybe I can make his torso wobble a bit too. But I will do this backward. Yeah, something like that. Might be a bit too much. Let's see. Oh, it's too fast. Not super convinced about this move here, but that's better now. Maybe if I offset this a bit. Yeah, this movement should be like more extreme. It's going too fast here. I will offset it, which is normal. I mean, oftenly even without polishing, I just offset the chest from the spine, the neck from the chest, etc. Directly into the dope sheet. Yeah, looks cool here. And we'll have absorption, so as he go backward we still have this. This key here is weird. Let's get rid of it. Yuck. Now when you pull back it should be like more like this. No, it's because I need to offset this one. And also maybe get a little up like that. Oh, that's, I don't like it. Wow. Pull. Yeah, but now I have this problem with the... That's gonna be... I will deal with this with the shoulder position, so let's make it up like that. Okay, I understand. So now when he push forward, he should lean forward from the chest, not from the spine. So let me just... So this is why I've kept it like not too high here. So here it should be like that, yeah. So let's see. He pulls back. I want him to raise a bit. I will get rid of this one. Pulling back, raise a bit, and then pull his chest and head down first, and then the spine will follow. And so that he can make this movement here. So it should occur sooner. That's weird, but that's because of the of this movement, I think. That doesn't fit very well the torso controller. You see there is a big slowdown here that is I don't like. I will just revise a bit the forward motion. So I think it was the Z one, yeah. Yeah, this here is not good. I want... Yeah, I think it's better now. Also offset a bit the down motion here. Yeah. Like, just imagine like he's digging a hole in the ground with his head. Okay, it's not... it's like the head is pulling the... He's pulling the chest and pulling the spine, not the... yeah, don't worry about the arms. I will deal with the arms later on. I explained this before, that I will... I've simply blocked the arms, so here they don't move. That's fine. But I will, during the polishing, I will work on their curves so that they are always in movement. So now I like the movement of the chest here. So here, as I told before, I can go higher and then absorb a bit the rotation. Go back. So I will absorb the motion like that. No. He's wobbling a bit. That's looking bad. Okay. And so now the y-axis, so this is gonna be pretty important, the z and y-axis, even if it's pretty subtle. So when you raise it like that, there is a slight rotation, sorry, on the left, because yeah, this arm here will be leaving the ground later, so that's normal. And then here he's lifting this, so I should have some movement toward the left too, to keep balance, you know. So here it should be like a little stronger, and then when he's back in place, I can slowly get him back to his straight, let's say. And now he will smash the ground, so I need to have a change. Impact, absorption, and get rid of this one. So you can see it touched the ground and slightly rotate on one axis. So when you pull, there isn't that much needs of pulling on the one side or the other. And there was this movement. So it's going to one side and then a switch, but this will be mainly with the y-axis here that I will deal with this movement. Maybe it could go a little further and then back. Yeah, looks nice. Oh, that's a bit robotic, so I don't know if it's due to the head movement that is following exactly the same pace. Yeah, no, there is a problem here. This movement here is weird. So it goes to the left. This should happen sooner, I think. Like, yeah, that's it. Okay. This is what happens when you play with the multiple axes. It looks a bit weird, so I think I got it. Now let's check the y-axis. So here I'm just getting rid of those curves because the movement is very subtle. And I don't want it to be like static, so yeah. It should be like rotating a bit toward this one, because I think it's the first that could touch the ground. So let's rotate him a bit like this. and as soon as it touches the ground you will try to recover like that. Okay, and this is where I need to make it like cool, so he charged forward, so I want the base of the neck pointing in the direction of the movement, and then switch direction like that. I think I will need to offset this switch. That's, yeah, it's switching to too early on, like way too early. He should flip his torso like when he's mid-air, like that. Let's see, because sometime in real time yeah, that's too like the change of direction is too strong, so I will slightly flatten the curve so that it looks more subtle. That's a bit weird though. Maybe I will just make him switch direction way later, and I'll focus on this part. Yeah, that looks better when working on the head. Because there is like a, it stops, the motion stops just right here. That's very weird. Okay. Yeah, I think if I offset correctly the neck and the head, that should looks okay. So let's see how it looks. Oh, I don't like this. I don't like this zigzag motion. So I just want to check if I got the same issue with the this axis here. It looks more regular, while here I made this movement, this strange behavior here. Come on, push forward, push to the side too. Yeah, okay. Push more to the side, and I think once he will reach the top here, I will start to rotate. Yeah. Right. Looks better. That doesn't look like awesome, but looks better for sure. I think it was also the z-axis here. Ah, come on. Yeah, let's say that's fine, and we'll get some smoothness animating the neck first. So that's gonna be pretty straightforward now. This will be mostly a follow through animation. So here could happen later. So let's see. Yeah, I think. And as he pulled back, I can raise it a bit. So there is a stop here where it gets faster, like on those keys. So now I wanted to offset it. Okay. So I want a bit of motion, like backward when it stops here. So we'll offset this, and it currently follows the chest movement here. That's pretty simple, let's say. Okay. And then here I think you could in a bit backward like that. I should have created a mask for the front legs, so that they don't occlude what I'm doing. So when you pull, the neck should be like pointing toward the hands. That's pretty fine for the time being. And then this is the motion where it will push forward. So I need to curve first the neck, then the chest is following, and then he pushes forward. In a reversed motion to scream, so I will just offset this a bit and scream. Yeah, looks nice. I like the curve of the body here just before he go for the scream. Okay. And then when he got back, we can interpolate a bit. I will offset them. So let's see from the front now, this spinning rotation that is such a problem. So here I could set a slight right to left rotation, very subtle. Okay. And also here that could be cool if he rotate a bit. He said so. I will implement this here very slowly. And when you will smash, so foot on the ground and then backward motion here, so the head follow. Okay, and the head will rotate the other way a bit like that. And then when he prepares to strike the ground, I like, wow, okay, I have time to recover, maybe rotate the head the other way. It's not like it's inputting any information to the main movement, but well, that makes the whole face moving all the way without stopping, which can be interesting. I mean, animation wise, not to have it too static, so it looks more natural. So here I can slightly input movement like that. And scream. Okay, so let's see. So when he's pushing like that, his head should be rotating this way because it's following the chest, so it goes the opposite direction, and when he tries, it should get like that. So I'm happy about this. Maybe even a little more like that, and this I will get rid of it. And now this is where it goes way too fast. This is what was bugging me before, so it rotates and spin, and that should looks better. So let's see. Yeah, that's more of a like he could be like licking something or screaming at something, but like yeah, I'm happy screaming. Okay, so now let's work on the head, and then we can work on the feet, and this will bring a lot of appeal, a lot of improvements to the global animation. So here the motion looks nice. I can get rid of this one, I think. Even though I could increase the backward movement, I don't want him to look like too much like he's how to say, he's not controlling his head at all. I mean, that will look like fun, but maybe not that believable. So here I can bend it a little more, and the head will, as it goes down here, the head will have a slight movement backward. And absorb the movement here, I think. That's yeah, that's a bit too much here, because we already have the neck input of this movement. So just maybe make the lower position here a bit longer, so that we have more sense of weight in the head movement. And then when you go down, I want it to be quite extreme. I will close the window in a few seconds because it's pretty noisy out there. Yeah, this should occur a bit sooner, and when it goes down, I want him to have his head like that, like he's slamming the ground for real, not like And as soon as it touches the ground, the edge should go backward, like faster. Yeah, looks pretty nice, yeah. So here I have this movement which is also nice. I will offset it a bit here. Also a bit there. And scream, okay, looks fine. And get back to pose. Offset this. And offset a bit for absorption. Okay. Let's see the other curves here. Ooh, little cat, little puppy, sit down, sit down. Sorry. It looks so cute. Hey Jim, maybe I can bring this little puppy to your neighbors so that you could get rid of your cat problems, I think. I think he will be very efficient at playing like literally with cats. Even if he doesn't mean to help them. I must say that no animals were injured during this live stream. And if some were, it's not my fault. There's a huge mosquito outside. Okay, I have also the solution. I have like animated like giant mosquitoes before I started this those streaming. It was the first monster I did. It was like a 50-kilogram mosquito, 1.50 meters mosquito, the kind of mosquito that you can feel when it gets under your skin, let's say. Yeah, I like that this movements. We'll just offset a bit and make it a little more extreme here. And before it falls, I will rotate it the other way a little sooner, like that. And you can recover gently. We'll see if it doesn't go too fast to slightly move it the other way too. Have a slight wave. No, it doesn't look right at all. Yeah, okay. Oh yeah, that's fine. That's it. A beautiful little puppy. So let's work on the ends here. Phew. Almost 3 hours already. That's crazy. I had the chien du magma at some time. What is magma dog? I will need to work on the shoulders too. Jim, are you up to work on my shoulders? So here, when pushing, they should be like more toward the ground, like that, so that I can lift the foot later. And this is what I want. Leave the ground later. So here I'm just setting this keyframe so that it allows me to achieve a better movement of the foot. And then I will polish the shoulder. So you see here the limbs are still bending. We don't want that. We want the foot to leave the ground as late as possible, like this. And it does change everything for sure. Okay, so I will set this to vector. Can get even rid of those, they are useless. And those, I don't like them neither. I'm like that. If I don't like you, I delete you. That could be a Schwarzenegger like story also. So now you can see the motion of the of this end here. I don't know if I want it to be like straight toward straight up, which could make sense, I think, but I feel like it could be arrive back before it arrived up. So I will offset this. So let me see. First, the timing is not that bad, but this should go higher for sure. And the idea here is to have the a movement like that of the hands. Now they should go down for sure. So even before, to find his balance and go further, way further. No, further. Sorry. Like, no, it should occur sooner here. So you raise and you go further. Yeah, thank you, baby. And go even lower. And still back. So here it should be like at its extreme forward position, get backward here. Okay, and raise. Okay, and now, so this is the moment we've all been waiting for, the smash attack. So let's switch to vector, and I want it to stay a bit in the air while the torso is leaning forward, and then the arm will follow and hit the ground before the torso arrives. So that's gonna be quite subtle. So I can, for example, offset a bit this one so that it occurs before, and duplicate it and raise it even a bit. And then it will be mostly playing with the curve. So I want the an ease in here, like it's slow and super fast. Should be like that. Bam. So I need to, I think, yeah, the orientation here of this vector was bad. Okay, now it looks like what I want. Okay, and regarding the forward motion, I want it to be at its extreme somewhere here. So I will duplicate this. I should have control left click for sure. Go forward here and then back, and while it's not touching the ground right here. What is this? Nope. That's, oh, that's because the arm is too short. No problem. Let's input a bit of shoulder movement here. Like the shoulder should be pulling backward and down. Okay. Let's see from the side how it looks. Looks perfectly perfectly nice. I think it's the pole target I will have to set the position, and also there is a lag. I don't know what it is. Oh, there is no weird movement, and then on the ground, yeah, the shoulder raised. That's fine. I think it's I think it's a matter of pole target here. Yeah, it's crossing the shoulder. So I put this here. This should fix the problem for the time being, at least. Oh, I found a little trick to have better control on the pole target while using it, which is very, very cool, because the pole target is the best way to get your IK to work properly, let's say. Would it be like that? I don't understand. Yeah, because it got to the side at a certain point, so that should be okay. Okay, let's check this out. Yeah, looks fun. Then you will pull them backward, so I will offset the movement so that there, if I can make him like starting to pull them like very lately. Now that's movement is too fast, so we don't have this proper feel of weight. I will make a better ease out, and here shorten it so that it goes fast and slow down. I can barely feel this, but okay, that's look better. Okay, fine for me. So I will have to input a bit of rotation for sure, because this pose here looks quite weird. And then it doesn't move anymore. Okay, so we are done here. I need to work on the rotation. So hopefully I've only set X rotation. I haven't been like too wild with the other axis, so let's think about this. So we leave the ground. Maybe I could use this. That would be better. I should have used this for the wall rotation here. That's a way here. So I will show you. I will save first and get rid of those rotation information. So now the foot is straight all the way. Okay, we don't care about the shoulder issue for the time being. But now what I can do is only play with this rotation. I wish I was clever when I set it, but it's not the case. So you're pushing on the ground. You should do this with your finger, but I don't know. I feel like it's let's see. Yeah, so this is going to be this axis. I feel like it will look better this way, but let's do it this way. So I will push and start to raise this. So now I like the rotation here. It's a bit extreme, but that's fine. Let's and then we should flip. So go this way. And I should keep this for a moment for sure. So when it goes down, this movement should be like stronger, and when it goes up, it should be smaller. So down he open and close, open and close, open, and as soon as it goes up, it close a bit, and it should be like maybe somewhere like here, and then so I can get rid of those because they are bugging me out, and go down like that. So this should happen a little before. And here this is the impact, so I will switch to vector and cancel the rotation. So that's a bit too much here. And maybe I will just slightly turn it like that, so that the extreme is more about there. And I feel like I will close it sooner. So the rotation movement here is a bit weird. Okay. And when I think it's decent. I will need to fix the pull target to avoid this wobbling here, but I think that's fine. Now when you will so like that, when you will pull, I want to rotate them like backward. So it starts here. So maybe just the previous frame. And recover. And that's a bit fast here. Oh, that looks fun. Okay, so I will just work on the pull target to debug it, so I will cancel any transformation here, and I will just go through the animation to see if there is any big issues. Then I could play with its position to input subtle movement in the like left and right movement when he's gathering energy. For example, I could like here, move it a bit on the left. And then get rid of any useless frames like that. Okay, here for me it's fine, it's following the end rotation. And this is where it will start to be like crazy. So what I can do is move it further to avoid any clipping. And here, for example, this is a bit weird. So I think it's because I'm probably too rotated. So I will have to work with the shoulder, which I should do maybe before I play with the pole. So I will get back to the shoulder here. And let's see what's happening. Trace, go to the feet here. The shoulder should get back first and then the arm, that's fine. Then slightly move forward here. And go backward just before, so should get there sooner. Like pushing the end and then pull the end, but not too much. You can see that there is a long way toward the end. That's, yeah, I don't have a good rest pose here, that's why. So pulling. And when they raise, the shoulder should be raised first, because the shoulder are pulling the hands, and they should be down first too. So it's quite at the same time here. And as he's absorbing the shock on the ground, the shoulder will get up. And when you pull the arm, the shoulder should have been the shoulder should have been like pointing forward. But that's gonna be fine, because this will kill the movement I've input just before. Or maybe I can rotate them backward, like they are pulling the arm further than we needed, so I can offset this. Yeah, it's pulling the arm first, and then this movement is way too fast here. Should be smooth, yeah. I don't know if I even need this one. Yeah, looks better. Yeah, smoother for sure. Then this pose was like cool, and he push, so this should occur before. Okay, so now I could polish the shoulder very rapidly, so mainly getting rid of the useless curve, for example. As I've set my extreme like more or less with the right timing, I will just make sure that they are looking decent. Okay. because it's pretty hard to read the shoulder movement like this. So here, for example, what is this? Okay, going down. So we had the impact, it goes up, and then okay, it's the pulling motion. Okay, now I can check this. My pull target. So here it's beneath, it should be less like where is the X value here? Okay. I think I could keep this value a bit offset on the side, and when it will smash, I'd like it to be also slightly on this side when it goes down, so that when it touches the ground I can pull it in and not up either. So that we have the impact, and the elbow is, will it go, yeah, like bow, comes like this stack. I don't know. Would be quite subtle. I don't know why it's going like crazy. I just, oh, okay, because it's following the ends. So currently the y-axis is not that important here. Okay. Okay, let's work on the other hand. That should help for sure. So those keys are useless. I don't think I will polish them, or at least work on the feather during the live stream. I will polish this foot, make the work on the mouth, and that's gonna be hit because we are already running quite late on time. So this limb should leave the ground first. So I will just make sure that again the shoulder here is rotated toward it at its maximum. So that we can save a bit of time. So it should leave the ground first because it's further than the other. So I can offset this by 1 frame, I think, and switch to vector. It's important to try to avoid to have your feet also moving at the same pace, and when you do this, even a jump, it's better to have a difference in the timing of the feet. Okay. So the raising here is looking good. Maybe a bit fast on the z-axis here. And it should continue to raise a bit while getting backward sooner, as we did before. So backward sooner, then raising, going a bit forward, then going down, getting a bit a little more forward again, and I will have to revise the shoulder position here. I want it to go way down. Okay, like that. And then it raises way too fast. So we have this motion here, that's fine, and then the slam motion, okay, which will occur at the same time as the other, so I need them to be quite at the same state, at least 8th wise. Yeah, that's fine. Ooh, that's a big shot for sure. You don't want to be in front of it. Now I need this position to be constant here. So that's weird that he should go maybe a little beyond. Okay. And then we have our pull animation. So this limb is the closer to the camera. Oh, it's quite the same as the other. I will offset the slide though, like that, so that it doesn't occur again at the same moment as the other. So the idea here is to have a pull back movement first of the shoulder, and then it will be like a bit pointing toward the end, because it will be short on shoulder then if I don't do so. And here there is something weird. Yeah, it's pushing on the ground, but the shoulder is way too backward. Okay. Yeah, but the ground quake, this is not something that I will do at my side, because it will be based on camera position, and you deal with camera position in-game engine. So the it's not my task here. But one thing I can show you, which is interesting, when you are animating a cycle, for example, and you have some difficulties to focus on a certain animation, let's say the spine here, let's I don't know, let's say it's moving way too up and down, and I can't focus on this bone. What I can do is lock the view onto a bone, for example, control torso, and now my point of view is following this bone, which is super interesting. I mean, this brings those little vibration you were talking about, and it gives you another view of your animation. Oftenly when you set it on the torso controller, it gives you something really dynamical, something really interesting to watch, for sure. Okay, so yeah, this was okay. The pulling was okay, and it's not supposed to move then, so I can work on the rotation now. So yeah, as I did for the other one, I will get rid of any rotation on the foot bone and use only the roll bone to achieve them. So I will get rid of those because I didn't use it before. I will set a keyframe here. And roll it a bit before it leave the ground. Once in the air here, that looks pretty nice. It's due to the problem of pull target here. So what I can do first for the pull target is get rid of every keys here and move it backward and slightly on the outside. I can duplicate those so that it will keep the consistency in the position of the pole, and then I will fix this kind of crazy deformations. I feel like I really like this character for sure, but it's pretty hard to read. There are some issues, I think, on the model. So I mean, in rest pose it looks very, very nice for sure, but when you want to animate it, that's quite complicated, I would say. I don't know. So I need to focus on the X rotation here. Something like that. So as before, it's a bit extreme here. Okay. So the pulling motion. Now I need to check out the pull rapidly. And here there is also a problem because he's pulling his shoulder back too soon. Okay. Oh, that looks really bad because of the pull position. There must be a weird rotation issue here. Yeah, okay. Now it looks better. I think it's okay. I will make the change of position of the pole while he's screaming, so that if there is a strange rotation of the elbow, we won't feel it that much. That's cheating, let's say. This is a good way to get the job done on time. Okay, so now it's getting interesting, let's say. Maybe the backward movement should be Yeah, it should be like here, stronger. Meaning I will have to offset all those movements here. So those here should be offset. Okay. It goes forward a bit too fast, I think. But that's gonna be a bit complicated to offset there. So maybe what I can do, let's see where it is here. If I can offset everyone's, just to check every single keyframe. Can't really feel the difference here. Yeah, because I should have offset previous frames. So here, when he goes back here, those ones. That's a little something, but I feel like, yeah, it looks way better. Okay. So I will now just, what time is it? Yeah, oh, that's crazy. 3 hours. Blender render, is it a special item? You have a brush icon, just try to blend, yeah, this here, I think. It's the Gauzy app to be able to export and import stuff from Blender to ZBrush. Yeah, we got up to 33 people watching at the same time, so maybe some were lost at the point. So yeah, I will just finish this animation real quick because we are getting I am getting late. So let's switch to curve for those, and I will delete the useless curve at the beginning here. So that would be cool if it was like opening his mouth a bit before, like here. Let's see. I can't really see. Wow. I think I'm getting a bit tired. and it should be like way more open when achieving this attack motion. And it can close while it's on the ground, we don't care. So the idea here is to use the this bone as a follow through animation. You will understand. So for example, when you raise like this, I could like input a slight rotation like that. Like it's following the head movement, and when it goes back there, close it, or even close it further. So we won't be seeing it, it's just a matter of for you to understand. And now when it goes like so, I will set a keyframe like that, and when it is going down like that, I could like break the jaw to have a big curve here and keep it as he closes the mouth. So I don't think it's obvious here because we can't really see the animation, but maybe on the screen one that's gonna be better. So here let's see. If the screen doesn't initiate too late or too soon. No, I think here that's fine. And we'll add some noise here. Okay. So now look at what we could do. So I will zoom on my curve here, and what I could do is slightly offset the jaw compared to the head rotation. So for example, the head is rotating this way, so I can rotate the jaw the opposite way. Sorry. So the head is going this way. I could slightly rotate the jaw this way. So this will be the z-axis here. I will slightly offset it like that, so that when it raises, it goes like that, and when it reaches the other way, I will slightly rotate it this way. And slowly get back to its position. Okay. Now also, when you raise the head, this should be where I will have the biggest rotation, and as soon as you reach the end, it will close a little bit, just a bit, like that. And it can reopen it a bit, let's say. So you will see these movements in a few seconds. So now I can increase this feeling with the follow through animation by slightly offsetting the movement. So for example, here, as you open, I can increase this behavior, and when you reach the top, I should have the yeah, this. That's weird because should have an S curve here. Okay, so S curve, and I reach the top, so I will make this happen sooner. Okay, and when it goes down, it should close a bit. Oh no, I don't want it to close a bit because he's screaming. And when we reclose the mouth, that's where I can offset this. It's a bit too slow here to be convincing, I think. Yeah, doesn't work. Okay. So now from the front view, so it goes this way. I will counter it a bit, and then yeah. Okay, let's look at it now. Hey. So it's yeah, it's a bit too much, but you have the idea. It's to make the jaw like it's dislocated, but it looks like funnier. So I think this closing motion here, I don't like it. I think if I just keep the left to right motion, that should be okay. I will switch to a matcap because I can't really see what I'm doing with the texture here. Yeah, that's a bit too much. Okay. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so now what we can do is add a bit of noise in the on the rotation. So I know that from what I've tested, when you add a bit of noise onto the jaw for sure, but even onto the neck or the head, that can look nice, let's say. So when you start screaming here, I will add a modifier. So on the curves here, go to modifier. I will add a noise. I will restrict the frame from 92 to, let's say, 115. No, 115. And put a bit of ease in and out. Out, not that much. And now I need to work on the strength for sure. Let's see how it looks here. I can't even feel it. It's because it's a bit too strong, maybe. think the movement is a bit too much of the head, so it's hard to get the. I will copy this noise and paste it onto the head too. Wow, I can see the difference. That's crazy. Okay, now I can see it, but that's maybe the frequency is not good enough while it's higher than the. Yeah, that's way too strong. Because if I offset it, I can feel it here, and it's very strong. Yeah, but since the move, oh, okay, I can see that's really bad. Since the movement of the head are is a bit too extreme. If the head was staying and we had this vibration, that should looks better. But here that's not working. Yeah, we don't need it. I won't set it, but to showcase you the result, I will use it on the foot when it's pulling backward. So I got to find what it is here. So I will add some noise to the. I need to on the X curve, which is the on this model the 8th. So I will add a noise modifier here, and I will restrict the frame from 65 to frame 77, and we'll sure have some ease out because the noise will be should be like less when it goes backward. Now if I increase it, let's see. Yeah, the offset is very subtle, but we will have this variation. So since there is other movement that's quite subtle, let's increase the strength a bit, and maybe where is the frequency? It's the scale, I think. Yeah, make the scale slightly bigger. Yeah, now I have this. I don't know if you can see it because it's pretty subtle, but you have this bouncy movement of the foot while sliding on the ground, which is interesting. So I can copy this. That's subtle though, for sure, but I did not want something like crazy. So I can do the same on the other curve, past it, and I will just need to offset it a bit because it occurs one frame before and one frame before two, or even two frame before. Okay. So I think I will probably be done here. I still need to input the movement of the of the feathers here, which is quite simple. There is something though that I feel weird that I didn't made any bone for this part of the mesh here. No, it seems I didn't. Yeah, I didn't animate this before. Okay, doesn't matter. So yeah, there is still the feathers here to be animated, but I feel like the result here is decent, and I've covered the main animation, let's say. So if I switch to display only render and show it to you now, I think it looks pretty good. Let's say only render. I will lock the cursor on this because it looks nice. And display only render. So yeah, let me know in the comment if I didn't understand how it will behave when hitting the ground. Will his moves be restrained? Wow. Anyway, so thanks, James. Solveig, I didn't understand how he will behave when hitting the ground. Will his move be constrained, I think, or restrained? Well, I don't know. I don't know what you're meaning. So, yeah. So I will call this finished, and I will end up the stream. And I think that's decent for the time being. So I hope you've enjoyed this new streaming and you've learned little things. And I see you on the next one. Bye bye.